are live and we're having a good time today with Tashana Pace. Those of you that didn't hear me, those of you that need to know what we're doing, we're talking to the CEO, the program director. She's working with the Children Village. She's working with the Miss Black America Princess Inc. She's feeding people. She's doing so many things. I don't even want to just give you snippets of it. I want her to come on and share with you what she's done, how she got to where she is. Because again, this platform is built for women. It's built to empower you, built to build you up, built to push you and shove you and get you from a place from pain to power and from power to victory. So let me bring her to the stage. Let me bring her to the stage. Here she is. Yes. Here she is, Tashana Pace. Listen, guys, I'm excited, so excited. I'm serious. You know, every time I go live, I am excited. We have people watching already. I see there's 9 or 10 people, already 13 people now. They are coming in, Tashana. So those of you who are just joining us, this is not an interview. This is a chat. And it's a chat because right on the side where you're watching, you see where you can chat with us. You can ask questions. You can say, bravo, Tashana. Great job, Tashana. Tonight is her night. It is Black History Month, and we are saluting and honoring Tashana Pace tonight for all that she has done and all that she's going to do. So without further ado, you guys just sit right there, and we will be back in a second. And we're back. We are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna try to stay professional with calling you Tashana. Oh, look, people already in the chat saying something to you. Brianna Scott.
This is all new to me. That's my soul.
Brianna Scott. Hi, Brianna. Bravo to Shano. Absolutely. And bravo to you. Someone else is here. Let's see. Hey, y'all. Proud of my soror. Listen, one of your sisters is here.
Yes. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
There you go. And I'm sure more people. Yeah, you and your sisters, y'all hang good. That's a
Chapter, Delta Nu Zeta Chapter.
awesome. Awesome. Oh my God. The chat just went alive. It just came alive, Tashana. And before we get into it, let's say hello to some of the people that are here to celebrate you. Let's see. Celeste Glenn says, congratulations.
Thank you.
Then we have Nicole Roberts. Hey, Tashana, I'm so proud of you.
Okay, I'm back. I didn't bring no tissue to this chat, so
Well, you should have some. I should have warned you. Princess K, hello everybody. I hope you all had a lovely Jesus Day. In Jesus' name, we have. Oh my goodness, here we have a friend of mine, Deneen A. Connor, an incredible author. Incredible author.
amazing.
Amazing. That's a good word. Incredible and amazing. Yes, we can't hear her. You can't hear Tashana. Can you guys hear Tashana?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Can't hear. Keep talking.
Hello? Hello? Should I do a do re mi? Fa sol la ti do.
You could do it, do re mi. Keep talking. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can't hear. Try to talk to Shauna.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
No, 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 no. Okay, let's see something. Okay, what is going on? Let me put you backstage. I'm gonna try some. No, let me leave you there. Let me try something. Um, let's try something. Can you guys hear us? Can you hear me now?
I can
Somebody,
hear you.
please let us know if you could hear.
Can you hear me?
Still saying they can't hear you. Hold on. What is going on?
Oh, they said we can hear.
Talk, Tashana. Talk.
Okay, but what's the do re mi fa so
Your
la?
mic is, hmm.
Is it out? Hello? 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 You think I should turn my Facebook?
Talk, Tashana. Talk.
Hello? Hello? Testing, testing. One, two, three.
No,
Testing.
there's nothing covering my mic.
Hmm. Can you hear me? Hello?
Testing one, two. Testing.
Testing,
Hmm.
testing, testing.
Testing one, two, one, one. Hold on. Testing one, two, one. I can see that
Can
my
you hear
mic
me
is
now?
on, but I can't hear you. You can
Hmm?
hear me. She's on mute,
Can you hear me now?
but you can hear me. No, she's not on mute here.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Um, so
I can hear
everyone
you.
is saying that you can hear me, but you can't hear Tashana. Is that correct? Okay.
Hello?
We can hear both of you. Talk, Tashana.
Hello? One, two, three.
I can't hear you. Talk, Tashana. Talk.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
Okay. Are we
Yes.
good?
Yes. I think so. I don't know. Are we
I'm
good?
asking. Are we good? I can hear both of you loud and clear. Thank you,
Cool.
Lord. Thank you, Lord. Everybody give Jesus a bravo. And while we're at it, we're putting our hands together and giving Tashana her bravo. Bravo. Just for
Nice.
you.
Yes. Mhm.
Bravo to you, Tashana.
Nice. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. We had a little setback, but it wasn't even a setback. It was whatever it was, but the Lord worked it out as we worked it out. So let's see what some of your folks are saying.
Yes.
Yes, Auntie Tashana.
Yes.
Bravo.
Hola. Magnifico.
And then
Yes.
everyone was saying, we can hear you now. And that's good. As you can see, they were helping us. They were helping us out. So yeah.
Yes.
So all right. So yeah, we had a little delay, but we are moving. That's what happens when you're live. When you're live, things happen. Sometimes it's things you out of your control. But listen, we're gonna do what we're gonna do tonight. So as
Yes.
you know, we're here with Tashana Pace. I don't even know where to start with her because listen, let's start by saying how long I've known her. Okay. And yes, she calls me auntie. So if she gets unprofessional and calls me auntie, and I get unprofessional and call her niece, we're putting it already out there. The disclaimer, what's going on, right?
Yes.
Yes. She's been in my life forever. Her and her mom. Her mom used to sing background for me way back. And she held that background. She held it. It was called Sheila Ingram and C. You remember that, Tashana?
I sure do. Backstage and everything. Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And she held that background like it was a group. And so that's how I was introduced in your life. And we're talking how many years? Like over 40 years, maybe
Yeah.
35,
Yeah.
40 years. So of course you call
Amen.
me auntie now. Why not?
Yes.
Right. And
Hmm.
you are part of the family. You know, my whole family. We love you. We support you. And so we're happy tonight to have you. And we are saluting you. It's Black History Month. We're saluting you. We're giving you your flowers now. And that's why I'm so glad. And speaking of your sweet little mama,
Hi, Mom. This is one of those moments we get, Mom, I made it.
hi, Cece. That's my girl. That's my girl. Friends forever, sister friends. So,
Mhm.
anyway, we want to talk tonight. As I said earlier, this is not an interview. This is a chat. And what we do is we chat inside of the chat. We ask questions. We say what we want to say. We talk to Tashana. We want to talk about her life. We want to talk about how she moved from the place of being young backstage and into a position with all these visions. This girl is a visionary like no other. So I'd like you to tell the audience, those that are on tonight and those that will see this footage and this broadcast after the fact, because you know these days when you're on the internet, it stays up forever. So whatever
Yeah.
we say, right, they'll hold our feet to it. But
Mhm.
whatever I want you to do is I want you to just jump in. And the first thing I'd like you to open up with is to share with women, because remember, this channel is designed for women to empower, to influence, to help them move from a broken place, to help them move from a great place to the next place, right? So let's talk about how you started. How do I want you to start? I want you to share a little bit about your childhood and then how you started getting these visions and this prompting inside of you to do these things.
Wow. It's always so hard to talk about yourself, you know.
Yeah.
But what I will say, my mom in the community that I grew up in was very intricate in my upbringing. Um, it really was truly a village. So when I was younger, uh, growing up in Frederick Douglass houses, we had the community center. We had great positive mentors. And I had this fifth grade teacher. Her name was Miss Corwood, Miss Marianne Corwood. And she was the first Black teacher that we had seen. Because during that time, like, Black teacher was like, whoa. And
Mhm.
to us growing up in housing, it was, she had a car. She was beautiful. She lived in Jersey.
Mm.
And it was at that moment, I'm like, wow, like, people of color, a woman can really have all of that stuff. She was so inspirational
Mm.
and building the foundation of you're dark skin, you're Black, you're proud, and you can
Yeah.
accomplish anything that you want. You don't
Yeah.
have to be a product of your environment.
Yeah.
So that it was at that point when I started realizing that
That was the
I
initial seed. You're saying that
yes.
was the
Well, you know,
seed.
my mom was definitely intricate in it as well.
Yes,
You know, she
absolutely.
kept me busy.
Yeah,
She kept me busy, and you know, I danced. I was into a lot of positive stuff when
that
I
you
was
were.
younger, and you know, I was on the teen council. I was dancing, and you know, it was just a lot of stuff that I was able to do, and it was just instilled in me from the very beginning that you don't have to be a product of your environment. So
Yeah.
we did a lot of community service work in the community center. That was like our safe haven, you know, because I really couldn't go outside. I'm telling on her, like, you know, you know, it's one of those things where, oh, well, if so and so's mother's not going, you're not going either. And, you
Yeah.
know, you're going to the center, is a whole group of you that are going to the
Yeah.
center because you're not going out by yourself. So
Yes.
it was a tight leash. Woo, it was a tight leash.
Yes.
However, little did I know it was setting the foundation for everything that I'm doing today.
Absolutely. Bravo
Yeah.
to Cece. Cece's in the
Mhm.
house.
Yeah.
Celia Pace is in the house. Bravo to you. Mhm.
Yeah.
Those of you who have just tuned in, those of you who have never been to this channel before, if you would hit that thumbs up. Listen, I'm new in these YouTube streets and I need your support. Hit that thumbs up, that like button. And those of you that like the content and would want to come back, hit the subscribe button. That would help me as well. And you know, whenever you come with Bravo with Sheila, you bring a cool beverage. This is a berry drink, strictly berry drink. People
Oh,
say, what's in that glass? What's in that
well, I
glass?
got water.
You got your water, you got your cool beverage. All right. So continue on.
So, with that, growing up, we did a lot of community service work. And, as I grew up and, to high school and graduated, and that's another thing, my mom pretty much had the fear of life in me. It's like, oh, so, you don't have no choice. You got to make sure that you do good because you don't have no choice. So my mom, I
With her
have to
little
defer.
tiny self. She's a little powerhouse with her little tiny self, right?
Do not mess with Cecilia Pace at all. At all.
Celeste, thank you so much for subscribing. I just got the notification, Celeste. Thank you so much for for subscribing. Yeah, she's a little powerhouse.
Yeah, she is. But I do thank her because sometimes in life as women, and my mom was a single mom, we kind of feel, and I talk to my friends about this to this day, like our parents were really hard on us, but it wasn't that. There's no blueprint to this. And they didn't really have a choice but to do and give us all that they knew at that time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and we're like, oh my God, I'm never going to do that when I have my children.
Yeah.
So let's speed forward to today.
Yes.
And our children of today.
Yes.
And things that are going on in our community and things that are going on with our children. I live in Harlem. I love Harlem. Harlem is life. Like Harlem is it. Harlem is a whole vibe. If you're not from Harlem, then,
yes.
No. It's like, are you from New York? Say, no, I'm from Harlem.
Harlem, yeah. And that's true. Harlemites will always go somewhere. And no matter where I've been in the world or whatever, it's like, okay, so where are you from? Harlem. Even with my daughter in LA, she's like, everyone knows. Harlemites are always Harlemites, no matter where we go.
Exactly. We do set the trend, it's a lot. So, as my children were younger, and I know my daughter.
Yay, Harlem.
Yeah.
Y'all Harlemites. And someone, I'm sorry, just asked you, what is the Tea Council? Brianna Scott said, what is the Tea Council?
Well, when I was younger, our teen council, we did a lot of political and civic work in the community. Like we set up stuff to paint our fences. We did political stuff that we wanted to change. We learned about voting. They took us down to the city street or city center down there. So it was a lot that I learned, which I didn't know at the time, because you never know
your purpose. Oh my God.
I just thought, we were doing stuff that, fight the power, hear my voice.
Look at that seed, how that was planted back then and what you're doing now.
So then with Miss Callwood, she took us to ABC Studios. We actually were in the studio. So, I'm seeing all this stuff. And again, at that time, I'm young, it's great. I'm running through the studio and we got to sit at the news anchor's desk, and who knew? Years later, I would work for Editorial House.
Yeah, wow.
It just all started coming together.
Wow.
And as I sat back and I thought about it, I'm like, wow, like as a fifth grader, I went to ABC Studios on a class trip, and who knew that would be my future, and I would work in Editorial House. And we did like major stuff. I did voiceovers, just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I'll tell anybody, if you get a voiceover, trust and believe, that is a blessing. No one understands the amount of money that people make in advertising.
Oh, absolutely. I have girlfriends that's been doing it for years.
Yes.
That's all they do.
That's what they have to do. Because once a commercial is played, you get the residuals from, if it's played all over the country, you get paid for every country that's being played in.
Exactly.
I didn't know. They was like, oh, Tashana, we want you to do a voiceover. I'm like, sure, no problem. When I got that check, I was like, hey. I had a friend, he was the Dakil Hasif, who helped me a lot with Miss Bap. He was the voice of Sprite. He bought a brownstone in Brooklyn. He bought a Range Rover. and some other stuff with voiceovers. And he had his regular job.
Oh, absolutely. That without a doubt, that
Yeah.
business will never, ever,
Yeah.
ever, die.
However, we don't get to be in there much.
Oh no, that is a fact.
Yes. So I worked my way up from the receptionist to a producer, but in between that, I was the operations manager, which meant I was in charge
You
of
had so
hiring.
many jobs.
Yeah, I was in charge of hiring. So you know what they say: when God opens a door for you, it is your duty to open the door for others.
Yes.
And it was some young people, and I have to tell this story. I don't know if Zakil is on. He had just graduated from Syracuse, because people poured into my life. So it was only right for me to make sure that I opened the door for those that I could open the door for. If you want it, what you put into it is what you will get out of it. So he's sitting across from me, this new graduate from Syracuse, and I'm an editor. Sure, you're an editor. Well, what you want to do is take this little job right here, and what you put in is what you will get out. I said, but the door is open for you right now. You have to walk through it. You don't see many of us in this business.
Yes.
And this is what you got to do. So thank God that he listened, because he is a big time editor right now.
Yeah.
So it's the little things like that.
Not little, the mentorship, starts a long time. Sometimes people think that mentoring takes a long time, but it's depending on who you're talking with and where you are and the environment you are around. You can be in a place around a young person for a month or just a summer, and that summer can shift their whole life, right?
Yes.
You can have a conversation with someone you stop on the block and talk with, and you just in passing, and they can later on say, it was this lady that would always stop and say this to me that changed me. It was this lady. So, dropping those jewels can shift our lives, shift many people's lives. And for you, I know you talk about how strict your mother was. You were the same way. And you have that tone in you. And I don't want to jump ahead of you, because I remember with the Miss Bap years and years and years and years ago. What? And then I haven't been around you in your office now, but you have a great leadership ability inside of you. And what you do is pull things out of people, but you're not easy to because you're going to pull out the best, and you don't make excuses. You want someone to succeed. And so I've seen you many times, like, I was like, let me go talk to her. You stay right here. I would come over and say something to you, because I knew if you're moving and you're working and you're doing stuff, you don't need a lot of little stuff coming at you, because you're so focused, right? But that's good that you have that, because that's kind of a jewel that you picked up too from your mom. It's not called being strict. It's called maybe no nonsense, or you'll see later why I'm talking to you like this. You'll see later why I'm putting this inside of you. So as you progressed in your, and by this time you must be like well in your teens, or young, at this point that you're talking about now, when this young man was with you, and then he.
Well, actually, I was more like in my early 20s, like
early 20s or so.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, and I learned from. And it's always being able to take in positive stuff, is allowing people to work in their strength. I had someone tell me, like, if you don't like the way that people manage you, you have to, when you get in the position, Tashana, you have to make a difference. And I'm like, okay, I can train you.
Right.
I can train you. I can give you the foundation of what is needed, but you have to want to do it for yourself.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna give you a blank canvas.
Yes.
And if you need help, it's always communication. There's no dumb question, but I'd rather ask the question than not.
I love your leadership skills. I love your leadership,
and
because
then
you lead with a heart.
I call it the Cecilia Pace look, and I still have it now too.
Listen,
my team knows it's like, look, they're like, oh, okay, Miss T. And no one is allowed to call anyone by their first name, especially if you're under 18. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, Mhm.
Absolutely. I remember back in the day, I came in, we were in 118th Street in
The
Avenue
PAL, yes.
in the YMs. No, where were we?
It
In a
was the PAL.
PAL, and I was
Mhm.
teaching etiquette on Saturdays for you, preparing the girls for the big day.
Yeah.
And somebody else was in another room teaching the girls something that they would need. And by
Yeah.
the time the girls got to the stage for this particular event to crown, it was such a charge in the room. I looked at you, you looked at me, everyone that was on the team, we looked at each other because it was like, we did it. We did it.
Right.
But look at these young ladies. So
It's
look at these
crazy.
ladies, and like I said, you would be strict, like they would get butterflies and nervous or whatever, but you would pull them in the corner, and like, look, we have to do this.
Hmm. Yeah, it
Bring
was
together.
crazy. That whole thing. Um, like I said, I live in Harlem, and I was walking. My daughter and I were walking. I think it was by the Apollo, and the little girls were just saying stuff that were just so out of line, and they were with the Timberland boots. It had it's funny, but it's not funny. They had the stiletto, the high heeled Timberland boots, right? And the little girl, she must have been about 15, 16. Lord, that girl looked, she was just pitiful. Pitiful. I mean, the heel turned all in, but you couldn't tell her she wasn't hot or all
Yeah.
that. And and I just thought about it, just hearing the way that they were talking to each other, cursing at each other, looking just a hot mess. And I'm like, wow. I said, I really have to do something about this. I said, I can't. And I tell everybody, you cannot talk about any of these kids if
Right.
you're not going to try to make a difference,
Yes.
no matter what it is, even if it's
Yes.
one person, if it's one child, if you change the life of one child for
Yes.
for the positive, then that's what has to be
Absolutely.
done. And then I reached out to you, and I reached out to this is I didn't have no money, and I was just
None of
laughing.
us did, but we pulled it together.
Right. I was talking to people and said, "What's your budget?"
I
So
know.
they now look seriously. What's your budget?
Yes.
God put it in my heart. I don't know what to tell you. It stayed. So I got to tell you about how Power 105.1 came on
Yes.
board. They I'm emailing because I know as a not for profit, first of all, I became a not for profit.
Right.
And I did it myself because whatever. And God gave me common sense. I'm going to get this not for profit. So
Yes.
got the not for profit. So as I am, researching also not for profits, you're supposed to get like 30 seconds of free advertisement on the radio. What? It's on. It's on. So I write the email. The email goes up to the president of Power 105.1. And it goes down to the salesperson, and the salesperson calls me, and I'm like, I don't have no money to pay for no advertising. He was like, well, how did your letter get to the president? And they sent it down to me. Like, I have no idea. He said, but here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put you in contact with the director of the station. You have 30 seconds to convince him why he should take your project on. I said, 30 seconds? Okay, let's rock.
Let's go.
And they wound up being sponsors for Miss Bap, our first year out. They
First
sponsored,
year
they came
out.
to our, we did the Father's Day thing in the park, and they
Yes.
wound up being partners with us until, the management changed. But it was really, really good. Michelle Codron, she actually was part of street promotion, and it was just an amazing experience. And
So go back because we jumped into it, and for those that don't know what Miss Bap Inc. is, and those who have never heard of it, because remember we are live, and this is going across the world. It's on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube forever. And you may have people that want to send a sponsor check or whatever. Please give a snapshot and not rushing you to talk about what Miss Bap is. You already said how you got the unction to do it when seeing the girls, whatever. But then at that point, tell the audience what Miss Bap is and what happens inside of the women or the young girls that are with you. I know, but I want you to share what happens and what's the end goal.
Miss Black American Princess Inc. is not a pageant. We started out as a pageant, but we are not a pageant. We are more of etiquette, self-esteem, education, and beauty. That's what we want to lay the foundation for girls 13 to 17 years old. We're also a scholarship program. You know, the money that is raised from what we do with we have an Unsung Hero Award where we honor people in the community who have no idea that we are watching them and watching the community work that they're doing, and we invite them to come, and the proceeds from that go to scholarships. What Miss Bap has been founded on is, taking our inner city girls, because, parents that get it, get it. They're going to make sure that their children are in great programs. They're going to make sure that they're in positive stuff. But we want the little girls, the young girls who think that videos are it. We want the little girls that think, oh, because I don't have great grades, I cannot be part of this program. No, every little girl, every young girl that walks through these streets of Harlem or tri-state area, you are a Miss Black American Princess. You be proud. We're going to show you the foundations of what it is for etiquette. We're going to show you a day of beauty. We're going to show you how to walk properly, how to speak properly.
Correct.
And I get the dance. I get the dancing, the new dancing. I get it. However, there was a beginning to that. And we show them what it is, the technique of everything. And then with the Day of Beauty, which is very, very important for today's teens, because you can't, and I cringe sometimes, but again, I can't talk about it if I'm not going to show them the difference. There's a youthful look, and there's a look where that's too grown for you. So it is very, the policies are very strict, but in the end, we have most of the girls that come back and say, thank you you so much, Miss Tashana. We have a couple of them that have gone on, they have their own businesses now. One mom called me, her daughter's working in Washington, and and one young lady, she has her own PR firm, and she said it was because she was part of Miss Bap, and certain things that she learned to do, how to walk in heels, how to have proper nails, how to have proper makeup, and even with the undergarments, we do. I take them to a hosiery store, because they don't know better, and if they don't know better, then they're going to do better.
Absolutely.
So we go through the whole soup to nuts with them. We take our time, and education is key. No one can ever take that from you, ever. And I remember when I started Miss Bap, I hadn't gotten my degree yet, but I'm preaching this to the girls, right? You got to get your degree. Well, so one of the little girls, of course, as children do, well, Miss Tashana, do you have your degree? I'm like, we're not talking about me. Okay, fine. However, the challenge is on. So now I have my master's degree. What next? Okay, maybe a doctorate. However, just that question is, we cannot be an example if we're not going to walk the walk and talk the talk,
Absolutely.
So most of the girls that have gone through the program, and I say it because we changed it because everyone participates in everything. It's not one of the girls that, the winner gets all of this. The girls participate in everything. In advertising, my friends in the advertising business, we introduced them to that. They made their own PSA. They wrote their own.
That's what I like about the program. No one is excluded.
Yeah, exactly. No one is excluded because it is us pouring into our youth. And everybody is welcome, even though it's Miss Black American Princess, but it is a program for all inner city youth, and the etiquette part of it, which is really fun because we show them the fundamentals. We show them, the plate and, all that stuff. And then they get to go out to dinner. We take them to a really nice restaurant. Now you get to practice what you've learned.
Absolutely.
And so we had to switch it up a little bit because I kind of felt that the pageant part of it was a little negative, considering everything that was going on at the time. And they still have to wear gowns. It's a formal affair.
Yeah.
The gowns have to be approved by us, and they learn how to walk properly and stand, and they do like
Yes.
a dance and stuff. Everything that we used to do in Old Harlem. I
Yeah.
actually got Hal Jackson Talented Teens was the thing.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We're dating ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it was so positive. And
It was.
when I put that gown on, I was like, oh my God, I'm the most beautiful princess in the world.
Yes.
And a lot of young ladies today, they don't really get to experience that.
No, that's so important, Tashana. That's so important how the girls walk away and they come back. And as you said, that something just came up last month. I was in my DMs and I saw a comment. People be putting all types of things and you don't want to open everything. And I was like, something said, just look at that comment. And it was a lady thanking me. I didn't know her name. I couldn't remember her name. She said, thank you so much for what you put in my daughter. I remember you took her out to eat in that 5-star restaurant. She didn't know how to use any knives and forks. And I'm still reading. I'm like, when was this? Then I remembered the event, right? And she said, and then she told me the girl's name. She said, my daughter still talks about what you did for her. And she's now some top executive somewhere. So we may not get the history of the journey of what happens once they leave you, but sometimes God will cause them to bring back a word to you that look what happened, because you do it not for you, you do it to give away, because I always say what's in us is not ours, right? Whatever God placed in us is for someone else, right?
Yes.
So you have to give it away. And that's what you're talking about, the giving away. And that's why we're here, to give away. And so when girls leave you, and I don't know how many years now you've been doing this, but you've had so many groups of young ladies. I've seen you take girls that was petrified to get on the stage, but had incredible voices. I mean, shaking in their boots. But you knew that if you could break the barrier of that fear would be broken off of their future and things they would do. So I've seen your work. And so now all these years that you've been doing this, where is Miss Bap now? And what exactly? Someone did just ask, let me put this back up. Nicole Roberts says, how can we donate? And so before we forget that, I need you to share right in the middle of this how someone can donate to Miss Bap.
I'm glad you asked that question. You can actually donate to Miss Bap. We have a website, Miss Bap Inc.
Let me see if I can get somebody to type that in the chat. I'm going to ask Kathy to type that in the chat for me. I don't have moderators yet. I'm a new kid on the block.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. So I'm going to ask Kathy or one of your troopers out there, one of your sisters, to put the website in the chat so it can be there. Go ahead and tell it.
And it's missbapinc.org. MISSBAPINC.org.
One more time.
MISSBAPINC.org.
Miss Bap, not with a T, with a P.
With a B, yes.
With a B. B-A-P.
Yeah, B-A-P, Miss Bap Inc.
Yes. And those of you on Facebook, I didn't greet you tonight. God bless you and thank you for being here with us tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes. So I hope someone wrote that down. And let's see what this comment is saying right now. Finding Your Passion today says, I have seen and met some of the Baps. Amazing young women they have become. Absolutely.
Thank you. Absolutely. And it's hands in hand. It's, the parents. Actually, I had a parent, it was a grandmother actually called me the other day. And she was like, is this Miss Tashana's number? Because, you got to be like, yeah, this is Miss Tashana who's calling. Right. She was telling me that, she's in Atlanta now. She's started something similar in the schools down there, so and again, it's it's paying it forward and
Paying it forward.
just making a difference in a person's life, in a young person's life who would not get that opportunity otherwise. Because and I see it a lot. And I've been, I don't want to say a victim, but it's happened to me sometime where you think you have a seat at the table, or you want a seat at the table, and you're not invited to the table. So you got to make your own table.
You got, and that'll preach right there, won't it?
You got to make your own table.
Kathy, please
However,
verify website. We'll put the website in at the end. I don't know if Kathy, somebody put a question mark like they didn't get what you said, but Kathy is saying, please verify, Sheila. Okay. Website one more time.
Okay, I don't know if this is.
Go ahead and put it in your comments. You're on Facebook, right? Wow, that what you just said was a mouthful. That will reach. Like, make your own table. Yes, I see that the comment is in. Okay, it's in the chat.
But going back to Miss Corward, she was able to, partner with my mom in that encouragement in, saying you can do anything it is that you want to do. We still struggle, as adults in certain things, but it's just for the girls to have that foundation, and whenever that fear or whatever comes in, you shake it off, because you are a Miss Black American Princess.
Absolutely.
And I don't have to be a product of my environment. And when we did the parade years ago, the African American Day parade, which was amazing. Oh my gosh, the girls had so much fun.
Yes.
And they walked that walk. And people were like, they're not from Harlem. I said, they absolutely are.
Oh, that's right. They
did
their thing.
Are.
It was awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's 32 of you on here. I see someone just hit the thumbs up. I see one thumbs up. It's 32 of you in the chat and on. Please hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, just for me.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, everybody.
Yes.
If I have to mention the gospel concert.
No, I want you to keep flowing. Like I told you, this is a chat, and because we have a chat, we go back and forth, and it's not so rigid. It's just a free flow kind of night. It's Friday night. We're doing our thing. Go ahead and talk about the concert.
So the gospel concert also, because I wanted them to.
Oh, someone just donated to you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nicole. I love you.
Wow, nice. Bravo to you, Nicole. Bravo to you.
So I wanted the girls to have, that was sort of like their introduction, like the pre-introduction to society. And we had the gospel concert. And it was a free concert because spiritual healing comes from different places.
True.
And I wanted them to know, because I know everyone, and respectfully, if, gospel is not for your child, I totally understand, but this is part of the program that we do. And we had people come out, choirs come out and sing and bless the girls.
Yes.
And, bless them as they go on their journey. And that wound up being a very intricate part of the program. Like, people like, when are we going to do the gospel concert? My friends.
Yes.
Because you sing, my mom sings, my sister sings.
It was awesome. It was so fun, though. Yeah, you didn't have to look far for your singers. We were in the house.
Yeah. And it's just something about, everyone has their thing. And gospel music has just always been, part of that, like, woosah moment for me. Okay, let me breathe and put on my gospel music, and then I can, refocus and move on. And then I have to mention Miss Rhoda Pfeiffer, who was my dance teacher. Gosh, I want to say 6-7 years old, and I brought her out of retirement. Remember, and
that was oh wow, that lady. Oh, you just took me back.
Yeah, she taught us the dance shaft.
Wow.
And no one really knew at the time, but that that was Mackay Pfeiffer's mom, you know.
Mm.
But she was my dance teacher. She was my mentor. She, you know, we stayed close over the years. But those are the type of people, you know, that I had in my life, fortunately, you know. And she, unfortunately, she passed away. But we were able to honor her at the Unsung Hero Awards. So it's that
Awesome.
type of thing, you know, giving people their flowers while they're here.
Yes.
And she was sick for a while, and you know, doing that Unsung Hero Award, that she was able to say to me, Tashana, thank you, because this is the first time that my whole family has been together and not visiting me in the hospital.
Look at that.
You know, so you know, we're going to keep that legacy going on with, you know, making sure that we honor those that we love, and you know, give them their flowers while they're here. You know?
Absolutely. As you
And
should. As you should. As
so
you should.
that has become a big part of Miss Black American Princess. You know, it's also pouring into the young girls, but it's also pouring into people in our community. And I also have to mention, it was a manager at Dunkin' Donuts across the street from the house, and I'm watching her, and she was good with my kids, and you know, she would take homeless kids off the street, give them jobs, clean them up. I mean, she was about the business. You know, Harlem. Dunkin'
Yes.
Donuts on 125th, you know, was kind of rough. She didn't take no stuff.
Yes.
And when I went into her and said, I want to honor you, she said, for what? I said, for all that you're doing for these young people. You don't think people are watching, but people are watching.
Yes.
And it was a really great honor to be able to have that conversation with her, because she too passed away from cancer. You know, however, to see her smile and be able to honor her, and I don't want to get emotional, but
It's okay. It is real. It's real. This is not fake. This is authentic emotion,
right.
authentic talk. Yes. It's okay.
But those are the things that were poured into me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all I know. You know,
Yeah.
it's all I
Yeah.
know. Like during the pandemic, it was we were giving out food here at the center, you know.
Well, go ahead and segue into that, because I was going to tell you to go ahead and segue into it. Go ahead and go right
You know,
into it.
that was the only thing that kind of kept me going, knowing that I was helping, you know, and it turned out to be a really, really big thing. And
Oh, yes.
every week,
ABC News, CB, I said,
oh
look
my
at my
goodness,
niece. I
oh my
mean,
goodness, oh yeah, that was it. I know people are like, oh, did she go crying again? But I just, it's just so dear to my heart. And my sorority came through. I have to give my Delta
I
Mu
saw
Zeta
them with
chapter.
you. I've been keeping up. Yes, they showed up for you.
Now I got to show you how God works. And he dealt with me. I think, I don't know if I tell you, he dealt with me. He was like, you better get yourself together, because you know that's not how we do. So my soror, Nicole Roberts, right? You know, they helped us in the years past. And, you know, this year we really didn't get that much because of the pandemic. Right. So the goal was, you know, 200 bags. The night before, we didn't have enough. Nicole put out the call. At this time, I didn't know it, though. And I get up in the next morning, I got an attitude. I got an attitude. Like, you know, I can't believe it. People said they were going to hell, blah, 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 blah. Then I'd start crying because I'm mad. And I was like, but I told you my go-to is gospel music.
Yes.
So this song just pops in my head. I love you, Jesus.
Yeah.
I worship and adore you. Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything.
Yes. That did it.
And I cried. And I said, all right, God, all right, fine, fine. So we just want to bless these 65 families and, you know, be happy with it. Well, needless to say, when I got to work, the lobby was filled with food. Filled.
No, filled. Right.
Filled. We met our goal and still ran out of food. So the news people came and, you know, I shared the story with them, and it was just a blessing. It was a blessing. And that Tuesday came, we had hams, we had turkey, we had canned goods, we had this, we had this. Oh,
The sidewalk was full. I mean,
yes,
you, you couldn't even
yes.
fit it inside. It was
No.
like it was an overflow. God sent you an overflow.
But see how he did that in less than 24 hours?
That's
I'm
how
like,
he
God,
works. That's who
what
he
was I
is.
thinking? What
Glory
was
to
I
God.
thinking?
Glory to God. That's who he is.
Yeah,
Period. Period.
yeah.
That's just who he is.
He was like, you better get yourself together. What you doing? Like, you already know better than that. And I'm like, okay, fine. So it was really, and the journey has been amazing, and I'm always learning every step of the way.
How has the pandemic stopped your progress with Miss Bap? Is this the time where you're regrouping and reshuffling and resituating things so that when you do come out in full force, that it's on a different, we're always tweaking things and shifting things. Are you in the process now, because of the pandemic and us not having the liberty to be everywhere? Are you shifting things around? Do we have to look forward to something that's going to happen with Miss Bap again?
Well, I'm
So,
glad you asked that question.
see, listen, we're in the spirit, me and you, right here, right
Yes.
here.
So I am relaunching Miss Bap. Actually, we are starting to take applications. They can email me. We have to do it a little different because of, the vaccine and, making sure that everyone is safe. But we are actually starting today. What a great way to start Black History Month.
Listen, how did I
So,
even know to put you up here on this Black History Month? I mean, what's going on here in the spirit?
Exactly. So my daughter worked on the flyer for me, and I'll, post it on my page afterwards. However, if anyone has, the space is limited, but we will have, it'll be hybrid. So we'll have some girls who probably will be on virtual, but in person. I definitely suggest in person because you'll get more from that. But it'll be a small group so we can be socially distanced and safe.
Right.
There will be an interview with the parents because they have to partner with us.
I think you always did that part, though.
Yeah,
You always had the parents always had to. Sometimes we would have a problem getting the parents in.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good piece that you should keep in.
But and that's the part where, the children, like, they really push it because, Mom, I want to be part of this. But we also got to get the parents to understand that this is not, your fly by night program. Like,
right. We need your input.
And we don't want you to have negative reaction to it because it's not a negative type program. We are taking it back to basics. So we are going to do the social.
Is this the flyer? Is this the flyer that we're talking about here that
yes.
you sent me? Mm-hmm. Let me just pause for a second. You'll post it, but let me just do a little commercial.
Okay.
Miss Black American Princess Inc. Self-Esteem and Etiquette Camp. Workshops, parent orientation, self-esteem and etiquette, public speaking, day of beauty, love versus domestic violence, college prep, community service, and more. So this is proof of vaccination has to be required, available to young ladies 13 through 17. If you want to take this number down, although she is going to post it, the contact number is 1-332-220-7807. Like I said, and like she said, she will be posting this. They have a Facebook page, so I'm sure everything will be on the Facebook page, but this is going to be awesome. Bravo to your daughter for this beautiful flyer. And so that is wonderful. Deneen, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I just got a flash that you did. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. So, okay, so things are getting ready to stir up again, and
yes,
we're getting it growing. Yes,
I do have to mention we do have our first scholarship recipient. Her name is Jaylyn Perkins.
Okay,
and she has been accepted to Spelman.
Bravo to Miss Perkins. Bravo to her.
So we are going to get stuff together so we can send her off right, because she actually, because we were still doing community service, outside of not having a full program.
Mhm.
And we did on 125th Street. We were invited to paint the mural, which was the Black Lives Matter.
Oh yes, when
It
I
was
saw, because that was on the news as well. When
yes,
you
and
guys,
in the
they
newspaper.
stopped
Yeah,
the newspaper, the news, they
yeah,
stopped the traffic. You guys
yes,
did the Black
yeah,
Lives Matter. I was like,
exactly.
oh, niece, go Jesus.
Yes, it was so cool. Again, God, like really. So it's like every time you try to step away from it, He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Once you put it in you, it's not happening, sis. So get yourself together.
She said, that's
So
awesome. Congrats
and
to your
then
first
she,
scholarship recipient.
yeah. So I'm really proud of her. And anything that I asked of her, she was like, okay, Miss T, I'm here to help. She's a real sweet young lady. So I'm excited about just
Yeah.
regrouping and blessing her and, spelling.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Bravo to the young lady and to you. And it's funny, as I'm sitting here listening to you, talking to you, and we're chatting, as much as you pull out of people, as much as get them going, you in your own personality are an introvert. You don't like being in front of the camera. You
No,
don't
I
want to
don't.
be on the microphone. You don't
No,
want to do any of that stuff. So
no, not even pictures. I
you
know.
don't like it. I know.
Yeah, everybody who's on here, they end up like, Tashana, get in the picture. Like, I don't want to
I
get
know you didn't
in
have to
the
take any pictures. I said, but you have to take a picture. And it's funny, and I say that because God has stretched you, niece.
Yeah.
God has stretched you. You've been obedient, and God has stretched you in your own temperament. We all have, some of us are introverts, some of us are extroverts, right? And so
Mhm.
the challenge is to work on ourselves, to be able to allow the Lord to stretch us, because we don't like going into the uncomfortable area, the unknown, right? But God will
Yeah.
push and shove you and nudge you and nudge you. And He's done a great job with you, and you've been quite
Thank
obedient.
you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. But it all comes from everyone that loves me and encourages me and believes
Yes,
in me. And it's the village, and
it's
it's
the
the
village.
journey, and what I continue to still seek. And I still kind of fall back, but I do have to say again, my sorority sisters are amazing. They
Yeah.
are,
You guys
they
have a nice
really,
bond.
yeah, they're really helping me through this next level, the journey of my life. And it's really sincere. And and sometimes, as things change in your life, and people come and people go, and we were just saying, you know you expect your next door neighbor to be like, yeah, I'm here for you. And
Yeah.
then when it doesn't happen, it kind of gets discouraging. So,
Yeah.
you know but the change is that I'm listening to what God has for me. So,
Yes. Yes. And those who are with you. And those who are not. And it's no issue, it's no
right.
problem, because
Mhm.
God will move out those that can't go to the next level with you, right?
Right.
You can still have a relationship with
And that's
people.
the hardest thing sometimes,
It
though,
is.
because you really want that, or you kind of believe that, and then when it doesn't happen, you're like, wow,
So let's
I
talk
never
about
knew.
that for a moment, because we're chatting and we got a few more minutes. Let's talk about the relationship with our sisters. Susan Southwell, Bunny.
Hey, Bunny. Bunny was I
Bless
honor
you.
her as well. She's my
I
big sister, and
Yes.
we grew up in Douglas together. And she you always have that protector. Always, if I was somewhere that I wasn't supposed to be, Bunny is like, "What are you doing here? Take
Yeah.
yourself back home." I'm like, "But, Mom."
Yes. Yes, she was on the platform, I think, last month, and oh, what a awesome! We saluted her last month for Harlem Honors and all the other things that she's doing with the feeding and the
Yes.
collaboration.
Hmm.
Let's talk about women for a minute, in terms of, because you and I did have a sidebar conversation about those that sometimes that we think that are closest to us. Or they say, oh, I ride and die with which my ride and die chick and all that other craziness or
Right.
stuff
Right.
that
Right.
people say. But sometimes as you grow and people that have been close to you for so long, they're not there.
Right.
They're not there. Or I find, and I've experienced the spirit of jealousy, right? Women that don't know who they are can have that spirit of jealousy. As long as we stay here together, we good. Don't you go
Right.
up there. Nope, come back.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
then you have the one that's over on the side that really wasn't in, and they show up. And those are the ones. So what do you think about what that it is with women who don't show up?
It's hard to say, because all I can say is, for me and my spirit, I want everybody to win. Like, if I'm eating steak, we all eating steak,
That's it.
However, the part that hurts is when you realize that that person, I don't want you to have none of my steak. I never wanted to sit at the table with you anyway. And you're like, what? Are you kidding me? So it really, it used to, and it still bothers me a little bit.
Because you're human. You're emotional.
I used to let it, weigh on me, but
grab from the basket, Denise.
I'm learning to
adjust
and just keep my faith up, and just I love you, but I understand where you are, and you know what, I have to move forward.
And here's the thing that I had. It is unfortunate, but here's the thing I had to start saying to myself sometime: expectation low, acceptance high. Expectation low, acceptance high, because we have to guard our hearts, right?
Yes.
And so when we expect, right, it's our expectation of what we need or want from another person who may not have the capacity to give us what we need, right? Or they may not be able, they're not there yet, right? So do I wait for them to get there? No, they can catch up if they ever get there. So how I manage my emotions, because I've been wounded by a lot of women, right? A lot. And a lot of it was jealousy. And I don't know why. I'm me, I'm the most, you come up to me, and ain't no diva thing going on with me. And I've never been like that. But how people perceive you because you're moving and growing, it can really hurt your heart when it's somebody you thought was a real sisterhood. So the expectation low. See, when I internalize that, then that sets my emotions up to be calm with anything that happens. And my acceptance is, I see who you are now. I accept who you are. And so now I'm not offended. I'm not hurt. And I guard my heart at the same time. And that's across the board with people in general. Expectation low. Even in relationships, women get all jacked up and bent out of shape because you didn't do it this way, and I wouldn't do that to you. And how could he have done that to me? And this is, okay, so maybe he doesn't have the capacity for you yet.
Right. And it's not up to you to, try to mold it into something that you want it to be.
Not ready yet.
We do that. We do that.
We do.
And I was just saying to you, like, I don't need no help. Stop trying to, because you're just going to mess it up. So just, if it is not, telling young girls, when I do get an opportunity to speak to them, you don't get that time back.
You don't get it back.
So, and you never give an ultimatum. Whatever, if it's a year, if it's 6 months, and you're hanging out with this guy and, you're having a great time, let it be that. However, when you feel that the relationship should be to a certain point at a certain time for your life, and if he's not stepping up to the plate at that time, gracefully bow out.
Yeah. Are we going in the right direction? Like, we were on the same train, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, what happened? Right. So you have to you outgrow people sometimes. You can have a relationship and be here, even keen. But women, we tend, because we're visionaries and we're movers and we want to do things and we want to succeed. And the person that we're with, they have the same capabilities, but they don't believe it in themselves, right? They don't believe it. So eventually the separation will have to happen, or else you'll stay stuck, right? Because somebody else is holding you back for their own, and your mom have put it up insecurities. Right. And so we have to teach our young girls who they are. We have to show
Yes.
them, you know, my temperament profile, you know, the strengths and the weaknesses, the needs
Exactly.
and the wants. You got to know how you're wired. I don't care how
Right.
teenagers have to understand how they're wired and
Exactly.
not allow people to violate their temperament.
Not at all. Not, no
So
settling.
yeah, no, but you got to
Settling.
understand how you're wired. That's
Mhm.
so key. It's
Yes,
so
it
key for
is.
you to understand you. That's one of the
Mhm.
best gifts you can give yourself, right? I mean,
Exactly.
the age that I am now, all the mistakes I've made, all the things I've gone through, I'm at a place called now. I'm there, right?
Right.
And on the journey, I had to find out more and more about
Mhm.
Sheila. I had
Right.
to fix the things and sit in it by myself and walk it out in shoe leather by myself.
Yes. It's
Bad
true.
decisions, wrong choices, not listening to the Lord, going before the Lord, all those different things mold us.
Mhm.
So that's why your program is so awesome and so
Yeah.
needed, right?
Oh,
And I
yeah.
remember you wanted to have it franchised. Remember you said you wanted it in all the different
And that,
cities?
and I still do. You know, I still do. You know, and it's just, you know, because we have the blueprint. You know,
Yes.
we already know what it is that we would like to instill in the girls. So if we do, case in point, the guy who does, I don't know if people follow me on my page, Get Fit with DG. Like, you know, I'm always doing something, researching. And, you know, he comes from Michigan
Mm-hmm.
as a fundraiser for Miss Bap. So a portion of the proceeds, but whenever he comes to New York, he
Mm-hmm.
gives $10 off each ticket to Miss Bap.
Oh.
Now, here's the funny part about that. Again, I had no idea how huge this man was. I'm like, oh, I like the way you exercise. The music is great. I need
Oh,
to
that's
come to
the
New
man that
York.
comes and exercise.
Yes.
He's viral on the internet. And when I saw you had him at the center, I was like, now how'd she get this man?
I sent an email. I'm like, so have you ever been to New York? He was like, no, you got a spot? So, you know, but I asked him, I said, well, what's your itinerary? You know, what do you need? Because I know this goes with the travel, like your airline. No, sis, I don't want you to do nothing. I just need a spot. You don't need me to get no airline tickets. What, you want, a bottle of water?
He
Like,
just came. When I saw him there, this man is huge.
I had no idea. So and my friend Jackie says to me, and she sees my face because I have that. And she goes, Tashana, you had no idea how huge he was. I said, I had no, and he is humble as apple pie. He is the sweetest person. And he was like, whatever it is you need, I am here to help you. And he actually had mentioned to me, like, you know, when we go to these different cities, because he travels all over.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I need to tap
What's his
into
name
that.
again?
His name is Dante. Get Fit with DG. Yeah.
I mean,
and we were sold out. Like, we had to turn people away. Like,
I'm sure. I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, how many people can this center hold? Because everyone that's on the internet, on IG, anything, everywhere knows about this guy.
Right. And people travel.
Going, come on.
And the music is good because, you know, sometimes you're in exercise class, you're like, I don't like that song. I don't like that song. But his playlist is really good. And people came from Baltimore. People came from Jersey because I heard he was going to be in New York.
Wow.
I'm like, who are you? I want to just say little YouTube thing. Oh my God. So we're really cool friends now. So
that's
again,
the favor of God on your life, Tashana. I call it the fog, the FOG, the favor of God. The fog follows you. I'm sure you're convinced now that God favors you. And that's because your heart is like his heart. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I had nowhere to go, you gave me somewhere to go, rest my head.
Yeah.
When I was in jail, you thought about me. That's scripture. That's the heart. See, believers get it all twisted. It's a matter of the heart.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Because God, he definitely is like, I need you to do this. And I got to say, even the pandemic, when it first started, Tenant Association President, Miss Blackwell, she works at Frederick Samuel houses. and Trader Joe's was giving food, you
That's
know,
my store.
they were giving steak, they were giving shrimp, they were
Mm,
giving scallops. And it really warmed my heart because they knew everyone was struggling.
yeah,
And but they also gave people stuff that they were okay. I'm not going to give anyone anything that I
that
wouldn't
you
want.
wouldn't.
And that's, I live by that. Don't
Yeah,
bring no junk here because we don't give out junk. Sorry.
right,
You know,
right.
everyone has pride. Everyone has worked hard and they
Yes.
deserve the best. If it's not the best, keep it moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want you to come back. I want to check in with you again. I want you to kind of segue out to tell because we could stay here forever because
I know. Thank
it's
you so
it's
much. I
so
was like,
much.
we going overtime.
There's no such thing as overtime on YouTube. It's your platform. If you want to, if you
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube, if you want to talk for 8 hours, you can. If you want
Oh,
to,
okay.
it's no cap, right?
Mhm.
So, but I don't like to hold my guests too long. But when it gets good, it gets good. So,
Mhm.
what would you share with a young girl or a woman? I know it's two different lanes, but what would you share with a woman who finds herself baffled about what she needs to do next in her life, if she feels stuck, if she's in a relationship that's holding her back, if she's around people or her tribe is not a positive, what would you say to someone? Because we're still in the beginning of the year. This is Black History Month, and I'm so grateful that you decided to accept the invitation so that we could salute you here on the Bravo platform, because you deserve it and
Thank
so
you.
much more. I have to come take you to lunch one day or something in Harlem. But what would you say to someone, a woman? What kind of jewels would you give someone right now in your closing?
Your journey is your experience and it's your life.
Mm,
Everything that has happened in your past is for a reason. And
mm,
it's up to you to take that and center yourself. And it's okay to be still. You have to be still for a moment to figure out what it is you want to do in your life that's going to take you to the next level. You know, I
mm.
say do a vision board, even if it's two
Yes,
things on that vision board. You know, if you want to accomplish school, if you want to start your own business, it can be done. It
yes.
takes time. You have to be patient. But most important, you have to put yourself first. No
Mm,
one else is going to put you first. And it's a struggle because, you have some people who are caretakers but you do
yeah,
have to take that moment and take a deep breath. And even if it's like 5 minutes, like sitting in the car for that extra 5 minutes and taking a deep
absolutely.
breath and asking the Lord to
Absolutely.
give you strength. Lord, just give me a little bit more strength so I can get up and face this day. Face
That's
this
so
day.
good. That's
Yeah.
powerful. That is so, so good because it's so many. We have to help each other, especially women. We have to encourage because a lot of women suffer in silence,
Yeah.
and mental
Mhm.
health is running rampant in so many homes, and
It
women
is.
are suffering. Thank you, MJ Bullock, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Nicole Roberts, for subscribing. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I so appreciate it. It's just so
Yeah.
many women suffering in silence.
Mhm.
I mean, this beautiful Miss former USA, was
Yeah.
just talking, just an interview 2 days prior, just
Exactly.
chatting. And
Mhm. And it's real. And I do have to say, sometimes we just need people to listen. You don't have to have a comment because if most of the time, if we haven't lived it,
oh,
you really can't go on to anyone who hasn't lived it.
oh,
So, you can be that friend to just listen. And then
yeah,
if you're listening, you know what? I want you to come and talk to this person because I know this person probably can help
yeah. I
you. You
always
know?
say I can't take
Yeah.
you where I haven't been. I always
Exactly.
preach that. I
Hmm.
can't take you. Anytime I'm even preaching or bringing a word or talking to groups of women or whatever, it's like I can't take you where I haven't been.
Exactly.
But I
Now
definitely think,
mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's true because I was again a young person talking to me about marriage. I can talk to you about marriage. And then yeah, I can
Yeah,
tell you what to do, what not to do. You know, But the mistake that some people make, some women or some couples make, you can't talk to anyone who has not lived that.
Yeah.
It's work. It's a journey. It's a process.
It is.
So I'm not going to talk to my girlfriend who, she's still living her best life. But that's a mistake that we make sometimes, because
True.
that's my trusted girlfriend. However, she may not give you the right advice.
That's so true. That is so true. So we have to be mindful of that, and we have to pay attention to each other, right? I don't have to be your best buddy, but I can still pick up if something is wrong. If I'm talking to you today, I went on Facebook. I just got up. I said, okay, wellness check. I had, was no reason. Just, I said, I have over 1,600 people on here. And sometimes all we do is text and put a post up and click like, but how you doing?
Exactly.
How are you doing? The life is full of text. People don't call anymore. Like people will text a book instead of picking up the phone. It's like, we need to keep that in the mix at some point. So I want to bring you back. I want to check in with you really.
I had a great time. Thank you so much. This is my first online interview. You twisted my arm.
I did, kind of, sort of. But you know how you are with me. If I call you and you'll be like, all right, if you call, okay.
Yes, exactly. But I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share my journey. I thank everyone that tuned in today and always supported me. Even in all my crazy, they're like, okay, what are you doing now? And I really thank everyone.
Deneen says you did well.
Thank you, Deneen.
Says you did well. Everyone is clapping for you.
Thank you, Soros.
Everyone's, they are here for you. This is
thank you, Mom.
Yes, my dear CC. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Auntie, for just pulling me out of my comfort zone.
Absolutely. Listen, we still do that. You're grown now, but I don't care. I still be like, okay.
See, that's that old school stuff.
When you call, when I asked you, was like, me, what, me? I was like, there you go. I was not. I was like, there she go. Let the juice run out a little bit.
No, first I said no. I
was like, what?
Like, yes.
So it's been wonderful. Thank you all. Those of you who subscribed tonight, those of you who just in your busy schedule. Let's see the last couple of let's see. Let's put thank you, Miss Sheila. And so, God bless you. Valerie, bless you. Let's see. Let's put some of these up before your mom is sending hearts and prayers and claps. And we love you. See, we love you. And this person is saying, do it. All right. Bravo. Here's another one. Here we go with this. You got all your college girls, and now you got a whole group in Harlem, right?
All my family. That Harlem is a vibe, and we're a family, doggone it.
Absolutely.
That's it. I love it.
Absolutely.
And I look forward to everyone bringing something to the table. We all are blessed to be a blessing, and we have to bless our youth.
And also, before you go, those that have young girls and daughters and nieces and cousins.
Wait, my old supervisor is on. Hi, Alberto.
Alberto. All right.
He was another one that was intricate in my journey.
Alberto Cruz. Well, thank
you. He
was
the sink or swim. He was like, what you want to do? You want to sink or swim? I said, well, I'm kind of like swimming, so I guess I got to get myself together.
Well, thank you for being here in the chat with us, Alberto. We love your presence here tonight. He says hello. So so those that have cousins and nieces and sisters, and they can actually get in touch through the missbap.org.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly. And the telephone number will be on my Facebook and
Instagram.
And Instagram, Miss Bap Inc on Instagram. The telephone number. We are definitely going to have a very strict interview process because of the social distancing. However, we're on the ground running. So if your daughter doesn't make it in this time, we definitely be moving forward, and they will get an opportunity.
Absolutely. So
and we do give out scholarships.
Scholarships, yes, you've been doing that from the onset. And so I thank you so much, everyone that is here. Remember, when nothing changes, and you must keep it moving. My name is Sheila Ingram. You have tuned in tonight to Sheila Ingram. Listen, Bravo with Sheila. If you'd like to hit me up with an email, it is bravowithsheila@gmail.com. If you'd like to hit me up with the Cash App, it's the $ Bravo with Sheila. Listen, we are here to continuously bring you good content. Next week, what are we doing? Next Tuesday is Relationships Tuesday. And we have the relationship guru, C. Reggie Rogers from Las Vegas is going to be on to talk about love and relationship. And the reason why I put him on the platform, because it's right before Valentine's Day. So I wanted to give a little twist and to also honor him for Black History. So we love you. We I just, oh God, another comment. I hate to not show somebody's comment. Let me see. Oh, let's see. Amazing interview. Love you, Tashana. That's Catherine Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Hi, Kathy. Thank you.
All of you in the chat, all of you on Facebook, thank you so much. We really appreciate your presence. Tashana, don't move. I'm going to say goodbye to the guests. We're going to sign off. But listen, we love you and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, everybody.